I bet you we make a move at the trade deadline. It's not one we're thinking about.
What position, if you had to take a random guess, what you thinking?
Trade Dan Moore.
But I've seen his name floated around. So would that be surprising?
It would be to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
I know it's being floated out around there. I don't think it's the one that everyone's wanting or really clamorizing for.
He has the most value, though, right now, if you're talking trade value.
I'm trying to get players added to the team. I feel like if we're giving up more, we're just getting a pick.
That's what I think we're trying to accomplish, right?
And that's like the Claypool deal last year. That came out of nowhere.
But it worked, though. You think about it, helped us out.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not expected. It could work out for us.
It's not a right now thing. It's a future investment thing.
Yeah, so it might get your head scratching a little bit. But since we at least have Broderick Jones, that makes more sense than my initial reaction to the Claypool trade last year was like, what are we doing? Why are we getting rid of weapons for Kenny when he's just getting around to starting for us? But then the report came out, Claypool, potential cancer in the locker room.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's fine.
See, my whole thing, if like, I wouldn't be...
I don't think Dan Moore's a cancer in the locker room.
Oh, no, I would agree. I don't think he is either. And I think he's a good player. I think he helps us better. But my thing is, because he has value, because he has played well at times throughout his career, he has shown that he can start in this league. That's valuable. Because as we've seen, there are a lot of big men that can't play offensive line consistently in this league. So for Dan, it's like, you got value with him. But the question is, how confident do you feel about Broderick Jones? Is watching him block Jadeveon Clowney enough to say, Dan Moore, goodbye? We trust this dude for the duration. And that's what you got to ask yourself.
We got a second for Claypool.
Yeah.
If someone's giving us a second for Dan Moore, that's going to be hard to pass up.
That's fine. But is it hard to pass up if it's truly a downgrade right now this season at the position because Broderick is young? Whereas for Dan, like we said, he started in this league for multiple seasons now. He's further along in his development.
Could be an upgrade, too. That's the 50-50 with the Dan Moore Broderick. I think it's 50-50. He could be a little worse. He could be better.
No, I'm with you. So it's 50-50, right? So we could play it both ways, right? If it's the 50 that he's good, then great, right? We won. We got a draft pick. All is well for this season. We continue to excel, right? Now let's play the other side of the coin if he is not.
Yeah, you're not happy. That's the risk you got to be willing to take if you're getting a pick like that, a second rounder.
So, but for you, are you willing to take that risk? Because to me, the reason why I'm not...
Second rounder, I think that's crazy. If we got that for Dan Moore, I think I'd have to take it.
Okay. The reason why for me I'm not big on it is because I feel like we're building the way that we need to be building right now. I don't want to add another thing to set us back. I don't want to add another thing to stunt Kenny's growth. I don't want to add another thing to mess up Matt Canada potentially. And that's my big thing. We are seeing something that has been continuing to grow, not because we've been ultra aggressive and panicky, because we've been giving it time. We've been nurturing it. Despite what other people might be wanting us to do with it, we're saying this is our baby. We're going to take our time with it and watch it grow. I feel like this move, if we were to do that, it does potentially change that dynamic because that is one of the more aggressive moves. And that's my only vibe with it that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Because even with Claypool, we've seen this offense shifted from the pass happy to more of a big body grouping. And we said, man, that kind of benefited this team.
We got rid of the Claypool curse, too.
That also as well.
It's
as
real.
you can see, it's real. Miami's struggling right now, bro.
Yep.
It's real. And Chicago looks good all of a sudden. It's crazy how that works, bro. No, it's legit crazy, bro. It's been 3 different spots right now, man. Miami looked kind of weird. Like, I don't know if you've seen them.
That was his first game active, and they lost. They're on one with him.
They look kind of weird, too, man. I was like, all right, we're going to see. We're going to see, man. But that's my thing. I just don't think that we need to be that aggressive right now. Is a second-round pick cool? Yes. Do I really think we're going to get a second-round pick for Dan Moore, though? I don't know.
That's what I mean. If we're offered the second, it's almost too tough to pass up.
So a future pick is worth more than this season, though, because you have to take the 50-50. So for you, that second-round pick would be worth it, even if it meant our protection drastically changes, and now Kenny is playing a lot worse because of the protection. Because it's 50-50.
It's hard for me to say drastically changes because, as we've mentioned, all the top edge rushers we've already played against. So I don't think Broderick's going to be going up against Murderer's Row here going forward.
We said
and
it's 50-50.
should get better with experience going forward. Like, he already looked good when he was out there.
All I'm saying is, if we're saying it's 50-50, is it not out of the framework that we haven't seen top 5 tackles in this league in the past 5 years that have been drafted struggle? That's all I'm saying.
I just don't think you're throwing. That's not a throwaway the season mindset. It's just, holy hell, this is too good of an offer. I got to take this, I think.
Fair enough. Different perspective. That's all. Because, I can see how you could look at it like that. I could definitely see how you could look at it like that.
Yeah, and you're just like, I think Broderick Jones is ready. So let's roll with it.
Yeah.
And this is a little risky. This is the risk we're willing to take, but it's too good of an offer for the future. And let's see how it plays out in the now. And like I said, it could be better. It could be better, but I don't think making that trade, I don't think you're thinking it's getting worse. You got that.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Mindset
if they
of
make
Broderick
that
Jones
trade, then
is
they truly
ready.
believe in it.
Right.
Yeah, they got to truly believe it. And then for better or worse, yeah.
To your point, I don't think the Steelers are seeking out trading Dan Moore.
Oh, no.
But a left tackle,
But a team would call
needy
for Dan
team,
Moore,
right?
yes.
Yeah, if they're
because
like,
you just
we
drafted
really
a first
need him.
rounder. We're like, yo, you got the first rounder. We know Dan Moore is not your long-term answer because you drafted Broderick. You've already told us your left tackle situation. Now, you might be looking at Dan and saying we're going to keep Dan because we're going to move him to right tackle potentially. That might be a different conversation. So for the Steelers, they might be like, nah, we don't want to do
That's
that.
something we don't know.
Right. That's behind the scenes. But I do think that teams would call for Dan because Dan has played well in his time in the league. I know people don't believe that all the time. It's still a day, but it's like, no, Dan is a good player in this league, man. And teams need good offensive linemen. They are hard to come by. We talk about Orlando Brown and the big contract, and it was like, bro, what happened with this dude, right? Ronnie Stanley, he came back from the injury, but it was like, that's $100 million left tackle. And we saw what that was looking like at times. So that's why when I say the whole Broderick, I'm like, yo, I get it. But it's a lot of tackles in this league, man, that at times you just don't know. So you really got to feel confident or really love the offer that you're getting if you're going to make that move right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, I love it if it's second or first. I ain't even go trip. I love that.
That'd be wild.
Yeah.